position on the silly ad shit that they were going to do.
It was a very rough day for Twitch. They broke all 10 commandments with a single policy change. A policy change that would have single-handedly destroyed the platform by driving all of the streamers to other...
March, Diablo has taken everything from me. Did you die? March, remember Japan. You know what I mean? Don't worry. We got something in the... We always got something else. Something to look forward to in the future. Yeah, it's going to be Austin, Will, and March. And my brother Marat will be there as well, actually. Yeah. We're doing a boys trip, baby. Fucking boys trip. Boys trip.
Their platforms. With this new change, it would have basically been pulling a fire alarm in a crowded theater and have all of the streamers scrambling for the exit as soon as possible. Twitch, for some reason, decided to put sponsorships in their crosshair and start firing. They released an update that would reduce their streamers' ability to have sponsored content through their streams, which is most streamers' main revenue source. So if streamers could no longer comfortably or reliably have sponsorships on Twitch, they will all go elsewhere, and many of them were threatening to do so. It was the perfect, horrible idea, a fucking geostorm of stupidity to try and push out this policy change. It baffles me that this idea somehow made it out of the Twitch think tank and they really tried to push it through. It's like they were playing a game of Plague Inc. where you try and create the perfect disease to wipe out the world. They created the perfect disease to wipe out their own company. Twitch is like a panda that's constantly trying to hurt itself, and the community is the zookeepers doing their best to stop it. Like, hey,
I'm waiting for the summer games to begin.
This is stupid. You're hurting yourself. Stop. Please stop. You know, Twitch is like a fucking Mr. Meeseeks that's just determined to kill itself. Twitch seems determined to ruin their platform. I don't understand how. Maybe they've been infiltrated by like YouTube execs and they're just sabotaging it internally. I don't know. They're making the worst decisions imaginable. So it's been about 24 hours since that massively awful idea came to fruition and was published. And now today they've made a statement saying that they're getting rid of it entirely. Now they're scrambling in a panic, desperate to try and walk it back. So they posted this saying, yesterday we released new branded content guidelines that impacted your ability to work with sponsors to increase your income from streaming. These guidelines are bad for you and bad for Twitch, and we are removing them entirely.
It just still comes across like very aggressive in defending the IP, which I don't really fully understand why you're like that, because why be like that? Anyway, so
sponsorships are critical to streamers' growth and ability to earn income. We will not prevent your ability to enter into direct relationships with sponsors. You will continue to own and control your sponsorship business. We want to work with our community to create the best experience on Twitch, and to do that, we need to be clear about what we're doing and why we're doing it. We appreciate your feedback and help in making this change. Now, on the surface, that sounds jolly good. That sounds dandy. Very simple and easy to understand. We fucked up. We released these new guidelines that reduced your ability to get sponsorships on your own and generate income through those sponsorships. So we're removing those guidelines. Very cut and dry, very easy to understand, no wiggle room for confusion. You know, we're not out here trying to understand the Silmarillion. It's just very simple. We're removing those guidelines because we recognize that it inhibited your ability to get sponsorships. So then why is the exact same language from yesterday still in their terms of service? When you go to their terms of service, they still have the exact same fucking policy that they tweeted about yesterday with the exact same language. Yesterday they tried saying that it was just a misunderstanding, that everyone misconstrued their statements because they made it too broad. But then today coming forward saying that, you know, it really wasn't a misunderstanding. These rules actually did just impact your ability to get sponsors, so they're removing them. Yet in their announcement about them being removed, they're still clearly here in their terms of service with the exact same language. So why are you claiming that they're removed if they're still there? That seems like a blatant lie to me, unless there's something I'm misunderstanding here. But it seems like they're trying to pull a quarter out from behind my ear and call it magic. It's still there. The policy has still made it to the terms of service, despite their tweets kind of leading people to believe the opposite is true. So I don't exactly fully get what the fuck has changed then. The policy is still there. So why are they tweeting as if they did some kind of heroic good deed by listening to the community and removing those restrictive guidelines on sponsorships? That just seems very misleading. Now, I watched Ludwig's video on it, the Mogul Mail, and he made a point that I think he's probably right on the money with. I believe the policy here with the advertisement is supposed to target things like Stream Elements or other companies that are able to sell ads at scale and kind of go through that process as opposed to attacking individuals for sponsorships. But it's very important to note that with the way the policy stands, it very well could be used against individuals. They can enforce it against any streamer they want. It doesn't have to be reserved for just corporations. So again, this would have to be a wait and see situation on how they choose to enforce it. But they could, for example, slap me if during one of our Moist Esports watch parties we play an opera ad that we made where I'm a fisherman and I catch a big opera fish, right? They can punish me for that with this new policy in place. It's just a matter of whether or not they'll choose to. Again, YouTube does have a very similar policy and they don't enforce it at all, really, not against individual streamers, and I haven't seen it enforced against any companies either. So Twitch could follow suit with that, but there's no telling. We don't know. But what I find extremely scummy is the way they're misleading people into thinking that this entire branded content policy is gone now, when it's not. It's still very much in effect. So I don't know why they're pretending that it's different. It's worked though. This has been a big PRW for Twitch here, because if you look at the comment section on the Twitch post, everyone's like, thanks for listening, Twitch. It really means a lot that you take notice of community feedback and respond accordingly. Which makes it clear that they have been able to slyly bring this policy to the platform without people taking too big of a notice. The goddamn Decepticons came in here from Twitch and they really pulled the
I had to
wool
open the
over
gate
our
for the
eyes.
contractors.
They got a PR win by pretending, they're making it seem like they listened to everyone's backlash and got rid of that evil policy that, you know, slipped through the cracks and missed the mark, when in reality, it's still there. And it's just a matter of how they're going to enforce it going forward. So, overall, that's pretty shitty, but it gets a bit worse for Twitch because I didn't even know this until today after watching Ludwig's video. They actually very sneakily introduced a couple new policies as well that I've only seen a little bit of talk about. One of them is simulcasting. So for those that don't know, simulcasting is the ability for a stream to be broadcast in multiple platforms at the same time. So let's say I'm playing Street Fighter 6, I'm fucking climbing all the way up to Masters like I'm known to do because I'm an absolute Street Fighter fucking deity. So I've got a banging stream popping off and I'm streaming it on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Kick. I'm all over the place. Maybe the fucking New York City billboards. Like, I'm streaming this shit everywhere. That was allowed for a good chunk of time by Twitch's terms. However, you'd have to just relinquish your ability to...
They also did that specifically so that, like, people would... They did that for two reasons. One, because they were like, we're the fucking number one anyway. Where else are you going to go? And two, they did that to, like, basically ease the... servants? Got you? What? I don't even know what that's about. Okay. They basically did that because they recognized themselves as like having monopoly market share of live streaming, and two, they did that because they wanted to ease like the PR disaster that was the 50-50 sub split. And for some weird reason, they just like turned around. For some reason, they turned around and just like flipped the script quietly, which is odd.
To be a partner on Twitch. The most notable example of this is Ninja. Ninja has been streaming on every platform that has video streaming capabilities.
For the record, I want everyone to understand, Twitch doesn't give a shit if you're multicasting to Instagram and TikTok. Twitch won't, for the time being, give a shit if you're multicasting, simulcasting to TikTok and Instagram. They just don't want you to multicast, simulcast. No, they're saying yes, they do, but it doesn't matter. They still don't. I promise you they don't. 100% they don't. Okay? They only care about YouTube. They even wrote it in the fucking fine print. They were like, oh, if it's a mobile service, then we don't really care. If it's a mobile first service, then we don't really care. They do care about YouTube, and they do care about Facebook and I guess Kick and other places. But I don't think that they care if it's TikTok or Instagram, because Twitch recognizes, at least smartly, that simulcasting on TikTok and simulcasting to Instagram could at least increase discoverability for people on Twitch. So they don't have an issue with that. I promise you they don't have an issue with that. Who simulcast mobile? Plenty of streamers do that, actually. They're just smaller streamers who are trying to grow their Twitch audience. That part is also, simulcasting has always been in the contract. That is true. When you were streaming on Facebook and Twitch way back in 2018, you brought it up that Twitch didn't literally allow it. I'm amazed Ninja just found out about this. No, Ninja knew about it as well. It's just that they switched it. They played a little game of switcheroo where they said, you can simulcast. It's fine. If you're not a fucking partnered streamer, you can simulcast to any platform you want. And then they literally switched it again, it seems. Okay? But having said that, I don't think Twitch cares about simulcasting to TikTok and simulcasting to Instagram. When I was simulcasting when I first started, I literally had a larger audience on Facebook. So I originally would go live on Facebook and then drive my traffic to Twitch. Obviously, at the time I talked to people at Twitch, and they were like, normally this wouldn't be allowed, but it's very clear that like this is done to, create a larger audience and bring in new people to Twitch, so we don't give a shit. And that's kind of what it is. That's the situational, like that's the context in which they will allow certain things like this to happen. Okay? That's it. Because they want, like, they understand that simulcasting can be helpful for pushing traffic to Twitch. So they're also partially fine with that. But nowadays, if platforms are going to start allowing non-exclusive contracts, like Kick or like Rumble or even maybe YouTube down the line, obviously Twitch is going to say, fuck that. You can't be partnered, or you can't even be an affiliate and get a contract from another platform and then use your audience that you have on Twitch to develop your audience on other platforms. I think they should allow it. I think it's fucked up to have a non-compete. Okay? But that's it.
Is streaming everywhere. He's probably streaming on your fucking university exclusive streaming platform at this point. He's everywhere. And he's able to do that because he's no longer a partner on Twitch. He doesn't make any money directly through Twitch. That's how he's able to do simulcasting. But Twitch has now introduced a new policy where he can't do that anymore. No one can do that anymore. And that affects mainly smaller streamers and Ninja. Ninja had a whole speech about it, and he's right on the money. Since he can't do that anymore, he's not going to stream on Twitch, because the options are stream on Twitch where he's making no money and can't make any money on Twitch, or stream to like 20 different platforms at the same time. The choice is obvious. And that's the same reality for a lot of small streamers that do the same thing, where they...
For the record, I don't think the choice is obvious. I don't think the choice was obvious at all. I think that is actually... that I do legitimately think that that's a very interesting choice, but I don't know how it will. I don't know how it'll pan out. Why are you saying what? It's not that. If you can generate more revenue, and if you can have a larger audience, if you can generate more revenue and have a larger audience on, if you can generate more. Fuck, I can't even talk with this thing in my goddamn lodged into my fucking clavicles. Yeah, bro, Charlie been awful with these takes. No, I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's awful. I think that's his personal perspective, but it's entirely dependent on where you generate more revenue. If you have more visibility, if you have a bigger audience on Twitch, then you would spread out onto like 8 different platforms. Of course you're going to stay on Twitch. It makes no sense. Like, Twitch has platform culture. Twitch has a better chat structure than every other platform. There's still plenty of reason to stay on Twitch, and that's precisely the reason why plenty of people do stay on Twitch. It's situational, but you know, that's the reason why I, despite having options to go to other platforms, have chosen to stay on Twitch. You know what I mean? Okay, chat is freaking the fuck out. Apparently, Will's character died. Is that why? A big reason why Aiden Ross drama baits is largely because Kick's visibility is nowhere near Twitch's, so he does these things to maintain relevance. Yes, to maintain relevance for himself and to maintain visibility for the platform as well. What are your thoughts on streamers starting their stream on Twitch for 10 minutes and then telling their viewers to watch the rest of the stream on Kick? I literally did that when I first started on Twitch. I did it on Facebook and then swapped it over to Twitch, which helps a little bit. Wait, Will didn't die? The guy boosting him died? Not Will, Kaboom the goat. Okay, guys, there's 30,000 people in here, and I know for a motherfucking fact, not all 30,000 people in here, not even like 100 people in here watch both me and Will play Diablo. How the fuck is chat so lit up about this when this has 135 likes? I don't understand. Where are you coming from? Where do you go? I don't really know. Like, where do you go when both Will and I are playing Diablo? Like, where is this? This minority is more of a vocal minority than the evangelical base of support within the Republican Party. It's very odd. Like, I fucking finished the game last night with 8,000 people watching, okay? It's the lowest number of live concurrent viewers I've had since like 2019 pretty much. And it's wild to me that like in a 30K fucking chat, you motherfuckers are still the loudest. Like how? How is that possible? Anyway. All right. Well, RIP to Kaboom, the person who was boosting Will the goat. Okay, let's get back to the Twitch situation.
They plant their feelers out as many places as they can to grow an audience. You've got to spread your wings. You know, you got to put your tendrils all over the place. So a lot of streamers, when they're starting out, will stream as many platforms as possible at the same time to try and grow their brand. No longer can they do that. So that's kind of a big deal for a lot of people, I would imagine. And I don't think many people have recognized that they changed their rules regarding simulcasting. And then the last little curveball Twitch surprised everyone with was a new contract that all their partners will need to sign, where they review and accept the new terms of service, and if they fail to do so, they lose their partnership. They get made into an affiliate until they accept the contract. And to go even a bit further here, if they choose not to accept the contract, or like they terminate the agreement, they're going to be charged $25 for the termination.
I don't really understand the necessity for this. Like, that's so dumb. Like, I actually don't know what this is.
You charge.
Like, why?
An actual suck my dick fee. Like, that's crazy. Just a $25 charge just because, fuck you. That's wild. So that's another thing that's happening right now. So you need to review and accept the terms in order to keep your partnership. And if you don't do it in a timely fashion, you're going right back down to affiliate until you decide to play ball with Twitch and you comply with their demands. This whole thing is just so silly. I don't understand why they're so fearful of... I'm just going to keep working under the assumption that it's things like stream elements. I don't know why they're so afraid of stream elements all of a sudden. I understand Twitch is extremely desperate for extra doubloons. Like, they're not making as many clams as they think they should be making on the site. But this is just such a crazy reaction to the existence of things like stream elements, because it can be enforced in a really terrible way for the health of the platform, and it's just pretty scary in general for streamers.
Aren't I under legal contract not to shit on Twitch or Amazon? I don't know, but that would be fucking ridiculous if I got banned for criticizing the fucking platform that I have a contract with, especially when I run the 3-minute ad breaks at the top of the hour. You know what I mean? I think these companies care about the money I generate for them, not necessarily what I'm saying, unless I'm like violating a terms of service thing that is like egregious. You know what I mean? If I'm like doing slurs, doing like slur power hour or something like that. So as long as I keep running those top of the hour ad breaks and filling that inventory and telling you that if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free, or by getting gifted a sub. And here's the 3-minute ad break now. I'm serving it to you. You know, we're good.
That makes them feel unsafe and unwelcome on Twitch, where at any moment Twitch could fuck them up for their sponsorships. Like that's just something that is a legitimate concern and a big driving factor in why so many streamers would want to go to other platforms. I don't know why they can't recognize that. This announcement came with something that is a legitimately good change, which is a tool that allows you to easily disclose when you're sponsored by someone or something. It's just a button you click to let people know that you are sponsored. That's a requirement for like every other site ever, so it's about time Twitch got one of those. But then they coupled that with all of these other awful changes that do nothing but make the site worse. I just don't understand why they're so determined to ruin the platform. They're not getting anything back from all of this. They're just losing over and over again. And I'm confident this won't be the last time Twitch makes a very greedy, out-of-touch policy change.
It just comes across as like penny pinching. It doesn't signal confidence in the platform. It literally feels like, it feels unnecessarily, it feels unnecessarily penny pinchy. Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I don't even know if the fucking short-term profits that you would get would be more than marginal. You know what I mean? It would just be tiny, right? I don't really like that at all. I actually am very... it's scary as a content creator on this platform. It does signal some trouble, in my opinion, and it scares me a little bit, I'll be honest.
In the near future. I'm wagering within the next 6 months we see something equally as stupid and as greedy as this policy change that they...
It feels like capitalism? Yes, but remember, capitalism is gives the allowance to Twitch to do these sorts of things. Whereas you can still exist under a capitalist organization of the economy and recognize that like these kinds of moves are, one, unnecessary, and two, signal insecurity within revenue streams, like existing revenue streams within the company. Like, they're shaking the couch to get as many pennies from under the couch cushions as possible.
That they try and push to the platform and will receive huge backlash for, and subsequently backpedal on the following day. I already can foresee that in the future of Twitch. They don't know what they're doing. They're completely lost. They're misguided. They're mismanaged. And they don't know how to make money from the platform. So the way they keep coming back to is just taking money from their streamers. And without streamers, there is no Twitch. And with...
My man said there is no value without labor, dude. Look at that. It's true. Do I personally, like, do these changes affect me? No, obviously not. Given the way that I've structured my my mechanism for generating revenue. However, it does not instill confidence in me that Twitch is like going to maintain its viability as like the leader in the live streaming space, which is terrifying to think of. But having said that, regardless of my own personal benefit or my own personal like how this impacts me personally, I, of course, am still hypercritical of this move, this decision, because it's a silly one. It's one that actually harms content creators who are the ones who are generating the value for Twitch. Assuming that you are going to be the prominent platform and therefore you can do everything you can get away with whatever the fuck you want to, is not a good place for Twitch to be at.
Twitch continuing to do this, they'll start losing those streamers that they really desperately need, they rely on. So I really don't think Twitch will be a platform within the next 10 years, maybe even less if they keep going in this direction. But yeah, I just want to talk about it a little bit. That's it. See ya.
So